Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Klinger2. In today's video, I'm just going to be talking about everything you need to know for terrestrialization in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So, just to start off with here, we got what is and what can you do with terrestrialization. Well, you can change your Pokemon's type in the battle, basically is what it does. So you can change it from the type it already is to another type that you wanted to change into, or the same type that it already is. And we'll talk about why that actually affects it differently here in a second. But just to clarify here, as this article says, basically any Pokemon that you have, you can actually Terrastyle it to any type that you want it to be. So any of the 18 types you can transform right into, which is really cool. That's going to be extremely useful for basically the story mode as well as competitive. And just overall, it's going to be a very versatile gimmick in this game. And very just, it's going to be kind of random-ish because you just don't know when your opponent's going to use it or not. But it's going to be a very interesting mechanic, to say the least, for sure. Now, how does this work? Okay, so this is an article I found, and I think this person explains it pretty well here. Now, to understand this a little bit more, you have to understand what stab is beforehand. So, stab is whenever you use a move that's the same type as your Pokemon. That move, or an offensive-based move, now does 1.5 times more damage. So if you didn't know that, now you know that. So that's what stab is. So if you, for instance, and this person's using Salamence as an example here. If you use Salamence and you use, let's say, Dragon Pulse. Dragon Pulse gets a 1.5 times attack to that, even though it's not... You don't have an attack boost or anything. You're just getting that due to the fact that you're a dragon type using a dragon move. So with that being said, when you're using your terraforms, it's good to keep in mind that you can actually terrestrialize into your own type of Pokemon. So for instance here, we've got Salamence. So you can terrestrialize into a dragon type, which gives you a 2 times instead of a 1.5 times for a dragon, offensive attack. Now, at the same time, which is also interesting, is if you use a flying type move during this time in your Salamence, it's still a 1.5 times stab. So you're not getting rid of its base typing, you're just getting an addition to that base typing of that 2 times instead of 1.5 times when you use the same type as your Pokemon already was. Now, let's say you terraform into a grass type for some reason. You want to make a grass Salamence. Well, now... With that being said, now you get it 1.5 times for grass, dragon, and flying. So you get stab for all 3 types, which is going to be extremely useful because now you have stab for everything. And if Libro and Protein, which are abilities that'll let your Pokemon basically switch types to the moves that you use that are offensive or just in general, that's going to be pretty insane because now you're just getting a super effective base attack off of everything is what it is. Just super effective times 2. And now you're just getting a times 2 by default on anything, even on neutral hit. That's the same, if you Terrastyle into the same type as that, that's going to be pretty nuts, just in general. But yeah, that's how that works. So if you have any questions about that, you can just pause and read over this, but I'm pretty sure I explained it pretty well. But yeah, this is a very good reference for this. Now, next up, when you're playing in the overworld in the game, the story mode, you're going to have a Terra Orb, and this is what you're going to use to terrestrialize your Pokemon with. Now, this Terra Orb, once you use it in the game, it will deplete its usage. So you have to go and recharge it up to use it again. Now, in multiplayer, that's not going to be an issue since you're only going to use it once, and that's it. So normally, even in, Sword and Shield and all that, it just resets and it doesn't really matter. You can use Focus Sashes over and over in competitive, while Focus Sashes pretty much break in the normal story for the most part in most games. So yeah, the Terra Orb you need to recharge, and how you're going to do this is you're going to go to a Poké Center, or you're going to go to a Shining Crystal that is filled with terrestrial energy, and you can find those in the overworld. And with that, you'll be able to recharge your orb, which will allow you to terrestrialize your Pokemon again while you're going through the story. If you want to do it for a gym battle, or you want to do it for a raid, for instance, or you want to go to fight the bad guys in this game. I think they're Team Star, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's just pretty much for the overworld. You're going to want to visit a Poké Center or refill it at a crystal that has terrestrial energy in it. Now, let's say, you get a Pokemon in the overworld like they showed in the trailer. They had a Jigglypuff that was terrestrializing into a water type. Let's say you want a Jigglypuff that terrestrializes into a fighting type for some reason. Well, in order to do this, you're going to need the shards. Now, this is a reference for shards. There's not a whole lot here because there's not a lot before. This is still before the game releases. This is one day prior. And it says right here, they're still researching it, which means they just don't know about it yet. So basically, but these shards you take to these vendors, and this vendor looks like this. This guy over here says, you want to change your Pokemon's Terra type? Well, you say, yes, of course I want to change my Pokemon's Terra type. So what you do is you take these shards that you're going to get from the overworld. It is going to be available. And then you basically take them here, and you give them the shards. And then he basically selects one of your Pokemon, or you select it, and they transform into a Terra type. It's pretty straightforward. It even shows it in here, but I don't really want to play the video. Let me see if I can fast forward it here. But yeah, that's pretty much how it works. You just give them the shards, and then it transforms basically the Terra type into it. And I don't want to show that much because of the fact that some of those are spoilers. I don't really want to spoil the game. I'm sorry if I played that. I just kind of spoiled a few Pokemon there for you, but yeah. And then this is where you find them at. So I'm assuming this is going to be more prevalent in just this one location, but this is in the West Province, Area 3, which is more in the northern part of the map, it looks like. And it seems like kind of a later thing you get in the story because they want you to really play the story first, and then you unlock this later. But yeah, and the reason why I do this is because if you get a max IV Pokemon or EV Pokemon, you don't want to go in there and just try to train up another Pokemon that's going to be that same way, right? It's just going to be a lot of time wasted. So you just go in here, you change that type, and boom, you got the Pokemon you want now. It can transform into the Terstallaztion that you want it to. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know, and I think that's everything for Terstallaztion. Honestly, I think that's really about it. So, unless there's more information that comes out later, but as of now, I did my research. I'm pretty sure this is about it. So, if you have any more questions, let me know in the comments. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. Very much appreciated. And everyone have a great day. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.